Okay, I'm having a little bit of a frustrating time with my technology, and I'm redoing this video, so frustrating, but here we go. Okay, car's driving at 45 miles per hour. What is the speed in feet per minute? Okay, so we've got to write down what we already know. We've got 45 miles for every 1 hour. Now we've got to say, what are we converting to? Okay, what do we need to convert? We need to convert distance units from miles to feet. Okay, and so we say 1 mile, which needs to be on the bottom to cancel the miles on top, is equal to how many feet? 5,280 feet. Don't worry, I'll give you conversions if you need them. You don't have to memorize all of this. Okay, but now that would convert, if you can see, that will cancel out miles and miles, leaving us with feet. We also need to convert the hours to minutes unit. Okay, hours. At 1 hour on the bottom means we're going to put 1 hour on top, and 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. And of course, the hours units will cancel. Now, what can we cancel from bottom to top? We can cancel 60 and 45 both by 15. This becomes a 3. This becomes a 4. And we can cancel this 4 and this 5,280. Okay. I can divide. We can first do it just by 2. Let's just do it by 2 first to make it easier. Okay. This divided by 2 is 2,640. And this divided by 2 is 2. And we can cancel that one more time, dividing by 2. This becomes a 1. This becomes 1,320. Okay? And now we can just multiply across. What are the units that are left? We've got feet per minute. And if we do what's on top, this 3 and this 1,320, we get 3,960 feet. And on the bottom, since it's all the way down to 1, it's per 1 minute. So we've got 3,960 feet per minute. Okay. Now, for 26, we need to know what is the conversion from gallons to milliliters. So I'm looking it up on the internet. I will give you information that you need. Okay. 1 gallon is 3,785 milliliters. Wow. So let's write it down. We have 105 gallons for every 1 minute. We need to convert the gallons. 1 gallon is into milliliters, 3,785 milliliters. That. Okay, that's going to cancel gallons and gallons. We also need to convert minutes into seconds. So we've got 1 minute on top to cancel the minute that's on the bottom, and that's equal to 60 seconds. Minutes will cancel minutes. Okay. And now what can we cancel for this 105 and this 60? Well, we can certainly divide them both by 5. Okay, this would be 12. This would be 21. And both of those numbers actually can be divided by 3 as well. So let's do it again. By 3, this becomes a 4. This becomes a 7. Okay? And this is not an even number here. So it's not going to divide by 2 or 4 evenly. And this is not as either. So I'm going to just multiply straight across. I'm going to use actually the space down below, just cheat and use the space and say, what is 3,785 times 7? 56, 59, carry the 5. 7 times 7 is 49, 54, carry the 5. 7 times 3 is 21, 26. Okay, and that is then 26,495 milliliters every 4 seconds, because there's still a 4 on the bottom. And so I'm going to actually divide that again and find a final answer here for us. Okay, I'm going to divide 26,495 by 4 and see what we get. Okay, so we say 26,495 divided by 4, because they want to know per second. That means we got to get it down to 1 second, not 4 seconds. So we divide. 4 goes into 26 6 times. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 24 6 times. Bring down the 9. 4 goes into 9 2 times. It's 8. Bring down the 5. 4 goes into 15 3 times, which is 12. And if I took the 12 away, I'd be left with a 3 remainder, and we divided by 4. So it becomes then 6,623 and 3/4 milliliters per. Okay, and then there's a little break here. You hear that I stopped the video and I picked it back up, because when I looked at the answer on the answer page, it's slightly different. And it took me a second to figure out why it was slightly different. But the reason that it's slightly different is because they used, I think, a slightly different conversion factor than 3,785 milliliters per gallon. They might have used a decimal number that made it very, very slightly different. So based on the numbers that I used, it's correct. Their number is just maybe a little bit more accurate, and so their answer is slightly more accurate. But we're just going to go with what I did, okay? Because that's pretty close. Now, one last problem, and I'm sorry this is taking a while. Oops. A student ran a 100-meter dash in 15.4 seconds. What's the student's speed in miles per hour? Okay, so what we need to do is we need to first write down the 100 meters in 15.4 seconds. And we now need to convert. What is it in miles per hour? Okay. We have 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers, or 1,600 meters. That's just a fact. And we have 1 hour equaling 3,600 seconds, also a fact. So what cancels out? Seconds cancel seconds, meters cancels meters, and as you can see, what you're going to get is, well, we're going to need to cancel here. So let's cancel, and let's say we can cancel this and this both by 100. This just becomes 16, and that becomes 1, okay? And we can cancel 16 and 3,600. We can cancel those by, I think we can cancel by 16, but I'm gonna divide by just 2, and well, I'm gonna do by 4 first. Okay, let's divide by 4. This divided by 4 is 4. This divided by 4 is 900. Okay, and actually that makes it a little bit easier for me to do now in my head, because I can do this by 4, it becomes 1, and I know that this divided by 4 is 225. Okay. Now, here's the funny bit of this, and this is the secret of all of this, is I think that they assume that there's a lot of people using calculators on this, okay? So the units that's left here is miles. We've got 225 miles over 15.4 hours. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a calculator on this. And I know that that seems like a cheat, but what I'm going to tell you is that we're going to keep you within the same type of units, the same systems. Okay, so we won't convert between metric system and customary system with these weird numbers. But I'm going to divide this right now. I'm going to say 225 divided by 15.4, and it works out to be about 14.61 miles per hour. Okay, and the answer in the answer page is slightly different. They have 14.5. They might have used a slightly different conversion rate. Okay, but that's okay. These problems, this is how you do these problems, but when we cancel like we did in class, we're going to give you numbers that cancel better, and you should understand the general concept of setting it up, canceling numbers, and if you can do that, you're going to be good.